Fourthly, Africans seek liberation from oppressed society. Sort of going back to the Bible, how the Israelites were held captive in Babylon for 50 years. Africans believe that they will be set free from oppression and captivity, even in their own home. And these Rastafarianists were condemned by whites, but at the same time, whites soon joined the Rastafarians and wanted to convert and fight for their liberation as well. And then sooner, like as the religion starts to grow and starts to develop and starts to come together, they started, rather than focusing on racial oppression and the liberation of blacks, they started to focus on human unity between, blacks, whites, Muslims, Hindus, everybody, and focusing on becoming one with the environment, sort of say. This is weird. When I read this, I was like, really? But then I could see how it was a thing. They participated in the sacramental use of ganja or marijuana. They called it the holy herb, and they would use it basically in a sacramental way, which I don't know how that would work, but I guess it could be a thing. There's a scripture in Revelation 22 that says, the leaves of the tree were for healing of the nations, and that's sort of where they get this basis for using marijuana, is that they will use it to heal and to become rejuvenated again. Some other things that Rastafarians participate in is the use of dreadlocks of their hair in the long coils. One famous Rastafarian, as probably all of us know, is Bob Marley. You can tell his hair. It began them doing their hair like that as a symbol of rejection from oppression, but also adheres to the scriptures and how men aren't supposed to cut their hair, like it says in the Old Testament in Leviticus 19:27 and Numbers 6:5. Men are not supposed to cut their hair or cut their beards to change the way that they look. Their diet is very similar to Jews, where they're not supposed to eat pork or shellfish. They don't use preservatives. A lot of Rastafarians are vegetarians or vegans. This thing I read in the book that was funny is that Bob Marley's son, Ziggy Marley, went on a cooking show and showed how to make this dish, this vegetarian Rastafarian dish called Rasta pasta, and I don't know, I just laughed for 5 minutes about it. But their colors, Rastafarians have colors and basically resemble the Jamaican flag, but each of the colors have a meaning to it. So black is the African origin, to remember where they came from and their descent. Green is for the hills of Jamaica, and the hope for the future. Red is the blood that was spilled by the martyrs, fighting for religious liberation, for racial liberation and all of that. And then gold, which are the colors of Ethiopia, to symbolize their African pride. Going into a more contemporary thing, lastly, Rastafarianism, today, we can see it mainly in reggae music, and culture. I know plenty of people who love reggae music, especially Bob Marley. Songs, drumming, bongos and stuff like that was really popular. And this helped Rastafarians spread throughout the Caribbean and England and Canada and the United States. So this religion is basically a branch of Christianity, but that helps to seek racial liberation for Africans. And so in the future, I love to see how everything plays out with this religion, and how reggae music continues to help and develop, because every little thing is going to be alright.